Welcome to Beating Cancer Daily. Beating stage 4 cancer for 30 years still takes my breath away every time I say it. I'm Saranne, founder of the Comedy Cures Foundation, and I hope you'll join me for just a few minutes daily for the next 365 days so we may laugh, learn, maybe cry a little as we live our best days beating cancer daily together. Are you ever just so sick about talking about cancer? I am not kidding. There were days where I just never wanted to hear the word cancer. I didn't want to explain about it. I didn't want to answer questions about it. I didn't even want to think about it. And I just remember thinking, is my life ever going to be normal again, where this isn't at the epicenter of every conversation, every family event, every phone call, every text message? I mean, it gets overwhelming and you just can't get back to normal because everybody needs to know everything about your cancer treatment. So I actually was really thinking about, how do you stop having the conversation? Some people love talking about it morning, noon, and night, but there are times where some people just don't want to hear about it. They don't want to talk about it. So I looked up some general advice on getting people to stop talking, but I have some ideas that I think are super creative that I don't see anywhere. So I'm going to just share some of the typical ones with you, and then I'm going to tell you some of mine. First of all, you can just interrupt somebody very politely and just say, I really am not in the mood to speak about my cancer right now. Thank you for understanding. Just be polite. Another one is to just redirect the conversation. The minute they take a break, change the topic of conversation. You also have the right to just end the conversation 100%. You don't even have to keep talking to the person. You can set a time limit. Just say, hey, I would like to just talk about this for about 5 minutes more, and then I really want to change the subject. You can make up an excuse. Just, I'm sorry, I need to just run to the bathroom right now. You can have a friend who is by your side at social engagements and they know that you don't want to talk about your cancer, and they can just rescue you by either redirecting the conversation or extracting you from the conversation altogether. You can choose to really limit what you're going to tell people about your cancer, have very short prepared answers, and limit the feedback that you're giving to anybody who's asking. You can just ignore it. I mean, I know it sounds rude, but, just ignore the conversation. That's probably my least favorite. But look, it's your life. It's your journey. If that's what you want to do, just ignore it. They'll get the hint. Now, these ideas came from Wiki. Like, I literally just typed in, what do people do to get annoying people to stop having the conversation with them? So these are all good and may come in handy at some point. But I try to think of, what would I do to prepare the people around me so that they understood what my boundaries were? Those were reactive strategies, and I like to be in control more. So I like to set the stage. That might come from being a producer. So I thought, what if you made a little button? You could get a button made, or you could make one yourself. And you could put the word cancer on the button and then put a line through it. And then when you had that button on, no one is allowed to talk to you about cancer. Mention the word cancer, you are off duty. You are off cancer duty. You are not talking about it. For some people, that might be awkward to have a button that has the word cancer and a line through it. So you could make a code word, but you would tell your friends and family that when I'm wearing this button, I don't want to talk about cancer. Just make a list of things that you'd like to talk to me about. And we could just do it on a day where I feel like I want to talk about my cancer. So I really like this button idea. You could do a scarf. You could have a certain scarf that you wear. And when you're wearing that scarf, that means no cancer doc. The other thing I thought was interesting would be if you create a day of the week, or you could have multiple days of the week, and you tell everyone on Mondays and Saturdays, I don't talk about cancer. If you want to talk about my cancer, you can call me on any other day. But those are my off days. I don't have it. I don't think about it. I don't want to talk about it. And then people really have boundary. And if they do interrupt that boundary, you just say, oh, it's Monday. I don't talk about it on Mondays. It will give you so much more freedom to talk about and think about things other than cancer. So I have one more tip for you. And this tip actually came from an experience that I had in high school. So I had a friend who worked in a jewelry store in Philadelphia, and he told me that when he worked in the jewelry store, he used to make up jewelry phrases to explain a piece of jewelry just to keep himself entertained. And he said that he sold more jewelry when he made up phrases. And I always thought that that was really mischievous and really funny. So if you want to get out of a conversation that you don't want to have, you could say something like this. I'm so sorry. My oncologist is waiting for my thermometer to take my diffraction reading, and I really have to go. A thermometer is nothing, and a diffraction reading is nothing. But if you say it really fast, it sounds like it could be like some new liquid biopsy or something. So it's just a funny way, but you have to say it with urgency to just get yourself extracted. Now, I also remember when I was on a lot of chemotherapy, I had very little patience for very long, drawn out, detailed things. So I would try to cut it all short so that I could just move on, because I couldn't follow these long, complicated stories with this chemo brain. So it's just a funny technique that you could use if you're not comfortable. Just think it, and it'll put a smile on your face, and it'll relax you to get out of the conversation that you don't want to be having. And you can make up whatever 2 words you want, but it's just a little like tongue in cheek to yourself. You know, I love practical jokes, and it's kind of like a little bit of a joke. So good luck with avoiding any conversation that you don't want to have. That's part of the power of going through a cancer diagnosis is you write the rules now. You really write the rules. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you guys know this, but Beating Cancer Daily is a listener and donor-supported podcast and community. So if you have some extra change, I'd love you to go to comedycures.org and make a donation today of whatever level is comfortable for you. And it will be tax deductible to the extent allowed by law, because Comedy Cures is a nonprofit 501c3 organization founded from my chemo chair, April 1999, and we've been going strong ever since. So please consider making a donation today and help our community and this podcast thrive. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow. Guess what time it is? It's time for me to read the disclaimer. Beating Cancer Daily and the membership circle are not in lieu of medical advice or treatment. They are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your healthcare team to review your best strategy. Thanks for listening.